has already been said. I did, Karen mentioned disaster recovery, and I think I now know what a disaster is, Paul. It's when Ohio State gets beat by Wisconsin. A few months ago, I watched as trucks pulled across the street from our location in downtown, and they began unloading computers for what is now the temporary site for Code Blue. I couldn't help but reflect on the work that went on. First, convincing CEO Paul Gross to move to downtown Springfield. I also reflected on the panic that set in. We had to pull a lot of partners together to accomplish Code Blue coming to Springfield. We had convinced Paul to give us a shot, but there was a lot of work that needed to be done and a lot of partners that had to come to the table to accomplish the task of pulling them to Springfield. So important was it that we get this company for the community that I was prepared to offer my home as a flood house. And for some reason, Clark State couldn't build it at the time Paul needed it built. Karen, my wife, thanks you for all the due diligence and your staff provided in making this happen here in what, 3 months, Randy? Just over 3 months. Pretty impressive timeline. How many colleges are asked to secure a building that is going to be flooded over and over again and provide a water abatement certification curriculum for potential employees? I think this is a first for our area, and we're glad to have that in Springfield. As we said in the initial press conference back in February, this was a team effort that began with State Senator Chris Widener suggesting that Paul consider Springfield. Before long, the Chamber, the city, the county, numerous community leaders, the Dayton Development Coalition, the Ohio Department of Development, on and on and on, people came to the table to make this work. It goes to show you that economic development isn't a singles match in tennis. It's more like a football team, and each of us had our role to play, and each of us came prepared to play that role and get Code Blue to Springfield. Paul, I'm not going to talk anymore about Wisconsin, but opening the flood house is not only another step in the growth of Code Blue in Springfield, but in our determined efforts to diversify the economy that you've already heard today, in a community that is great, and we hope will become greater. So Paul, thank you for your decision to locate in downtown Springfield. Thank you for the jobs that you're going to create, the jobs that you've already created. And thank you, Karen and Clark State, for when we talked about this 6 months ago, a seemingly impossible challenge has come to fruition today in the dedication of this flood house.